Hello every single one of you and welcome in today's video. In today's video we have a special guest on the channel, and this guest is called Menno. Menno is a fellow Dutchman, and yeah, in today's video we are going to have a chat about the outlook of Bitcoin, why you should be active in the space at this particular moment, and we are going to have a look at some altcoins and some different topics. Menno has his own YouTube channel. It's called the FOMO Factory, and I will put a link to his YouTube channel down below in the description. Make sure you will go to his YouTube channel and subscribe, because he is creating awesome content and a lot of things he is talking about that we are not talking about on our channel. So guys, it's very interesting. Menno, welcome here. Welcome on the blockchain today.
Thank you. It's a better introduction than I could give myself. Very nice. How are you?
Great, man. Thanks for coming on the channel. Really nice to have you here. And maybe you want to say a word about your channel, the FOMO Factory.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, you kind of said it already, but I got the channel, the FOMO Factory, where we I'm posting videos there every single day. And what I like so much, I started this channel in the bear market. So basically every single person that's watching that channel, in my opinion, is going to make it, because yeah, like you said as well, you have to stick around right now. These are not the most easy times in crypto, but they will get there. And until then, I'm just preaching about the market every day. I'm not talking about stuff like, okay, we can get 100x from this and 100x from this, but I want us all to be safe, have some good entries, have a realistic outlook on the market. And so far it's going very well. So yeah, make sure to join it.
Yeah, we discussed this thing earlier, but right now we are actually quite in a special period if we look in terms of the adoption rate of crypto, the price of crypto, and the amount of people that are active in the space. What do you think about that?
Well, yeah, that's a big question, of course. Well, it's obviously at least that not a lot of people are active in crypto right now. It might seem like it, but if you went through a bull run, you know the hype around crypto, right? And you know that everything is involved around crypto, altcoins moon. Yeah, that's not really what we're seeing right now. We have some pop up every once in a while, but it's not really what we're seeing right now. And the market is doing a little bit better at the moment, but yeah, might as well come down just as hard. And in my opinion, these are pretty hard times, because you don't really know what you're up against right now. One day it goes up, one day it goes down. And yeah, it's not really a bear market. It's not really a bull market. It's like dating a borderline girl. It's really giving you a headache. And yeah, therefore I said, like, if you are here right now, if you watch this, you have a high chance of making it at the end of the day. So
you don't think that we actually yet in a bull market?
No.
No,
I don't think so. No. You think so?
I might change your mind on that later. I'm gonna try to convince you. I think we're actually in a bull market, and I don't think it will be a long-lived bull market. I think it will be a short-lived bull market. But I will show you. I will show you that. I will show you that in a bit, man.
Yeah, I'm curious. Cool.
And you were talking about some altcoins too, right? Like some are popping left and right. And I saw on your channel you were talking about the Elysium altcoin.
Yeah, at the moment, but I can show you later as well. I'm in general, I don't, on the short term, I don't really have high hopes for altcoins. Although some are popping, of course, and there are always exceptions, but overall, I think we need a little more time. But the ones that are popping are always to be found. And I found Elysium. Elysium is an AI project, but it's also a crypto gaming project. And their gaming side is already listed on the Epic Game Store, for example. They won an award for the best crypto gamified project in 2022. Their AI side is really innovative, and it's just new. You couldn't invest in the token yet, but you could have bought notes. Like it's very comparable to a Gala note, for example. And that's very, speculative. It's always high risk to buy into something that's not out yet. But yeah, I had high conviction, and luckily it played out. The project came out. It did very well. We all from the community made some nice, decent profits on it, and we get these rewards daily. and it's still quite cheap node if you compare it to a Gala node or Miria. I don't know if you know that one, just came out. That one is quite expensive compared to this one, but I think that, you know, AI is a big hype at the moment, but I think it's going to be more than just hype as well. And that's a really high conviction play for me. So yeah, that's at least one that I can call right now that I think will do very well.
Okay, and how can we look at AI and gaming? Because on our channel we mainly focus on Bitcoin, so this is quite new stuff for us. So you have like an AI token from the Elysium, and there is a game that will be connected to that AI, or how does that work?
Yeah, at a certain point they will connect it. For now, these are two separate separate topics. So they have their gaming side, and it looks a little like a combination of Halo and Grand Theft Auto, basically.
Okay.
And their gaming side, it has well, it has AI powered meta beings. So you can actually, if you walk through Grand Theft Auto, you see other characters, right? And you can smack them and they smack you back, and that's it basically. With this project, you can actually be friends with them. You can make them do tasks for you that actually earns you money. You can build a whole world with these people, so you don't need actual players in the game to have a game that's being played. So I thought that's kind of genius. The AI side that they have right now is like, it is kind of like a chat GPT, but very much focused on crypto. And there are a couple of projects already popping out the ground that do that. But one example, what you can do with this AI project is you can ask like, hey, is there an airdrop going on for layer 0, for example? And if yes, can you hunt that airdrop for me, basically? So in that case, the AI makes your wallet do transactions, do cross chains, do bridges, and all of the stuff that make you liable for that airdrop. Because, for example, that Arbitrum airdrop was quite a big one, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people have missed it, or a lot of people did not make the most out of it because they didn't know how to. And in this case, you can just ask their AI project, like, okay, what do I need to do? And do it for me. That's one of the features. And I think that's quite insane, as it makes it a lot easier and you can actually get the most out of crypto without getting money out of the actual project itself, the Elysium. So yeah, I think that's pretty innovative for what we have right now in crypto.
It's actually quite crazy with these airdrops, right? Because there's a lot of money that is just being dropped, but it's also because of the marketing of those airdrops, it also drives in new money and activity, right? So it's kind of a win-win, but it's crazy what kind of, like the Arbitrum airdrop are you talking about? I know some people that made quite some money with that. I was quite shocked when I heard the numbers, like, wow, you just got that money for free, right? Like,
crazy. Yeah, and if you can get the most out of that by using AI, I think that's one thing that that crypto can really use.
Yeah, it's becoming kind of a friend, kind of like, or maybe a colleague, someone who's working for you, who can do the tasks. Yeah, actually quite crazy. Yeah, I think the gaming industry can definitely also see a huge progress when it gets that AI implementation. Like you said, like these characters where you can maybe become friends with, or they can learn how to behave or learn how to act, or maybe grow as well as your character in the game is growing.
Yeah, and I think it speeds up the development as well. I mean, if you want to build a good game, are there actually really good crypto games? I'm not much of a gamer myself, but I really believe a lot in crypto gaming. So it sounds a little hypocritical, but I do know that most crypto games are not that good because it takes a lot of money to build a good game and it takes a lot of time to build a good game. But if you also, as a developer, can use AI to develop characters or whatever, it saves you a lot of time as well. And it saves you a lot of staff because AI does it for you. So therefore, I think the whole development of crypto gaming is going to speed up as well with AI. So therefore, I'm betting big on crypto gaming.
And are there any other projects next to the Elysium that you would recommend looking into AI and crypto gaming? Or is that the one project to go, like the Elysium?
No, there will be way more projects than just that. But it's quite hard to say because it's still also new and AI projects popping off right now. But it's really, you really have to do a good bunch of research to see like, okay, which project can actually do it and which project is actually trying to do it because they see there's a hype going on and they're just in to make some quick cash. So that's quite hard sometimes. But we are now 4 months into the AI hype. I wouldn't jump right in it yet. So I'm a little careful with that for now. But Elysium is at least the conviction play that I have. Yeah, when it comes to crypto gaming, I'm just looking at studios, launchpads. Cedify, for example, releases a lot of good launchpads. And I know in a bull run, they release projects that do 100 up to a 600x. Yeah, if you invest in such a launchpad, then that launchpad will do great in the bull run. So that's my biggest holding at the moment, for example.
And you were saying that you don't think the bull market yet has started, right?
No, I don't think so. No, I think it will take 1 year and 3 months from now. If I have to be as specific as possible,
Okay.
I won't be right about that, of course. I will be off. But if I have to put a timeline on it, I think that's about it. Yeah.
Can you share a little bit with us? Maybe you can share your screen where you can elaborate a little bit on those timings.
Yeah, let me try. Let me see. Where do I have my screen? All right, you can see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Look, at first, like, we are now in 2023, right? If you want to do charting, if you want to do TA, what you do is comparing it to other times and other charts and all of that. Nothing is completely comparable in my opinion. But if we do have to take a look at what happened before, we had this bull market in 2017, and we are, quietly repeating what we are doing right here. I mean, the top was in December 2017. We had this bear market. In November, we had a crash. We went sideways. And there we had a year before the halving, we started, going back up and sideways and all of that. If you look at where we are right now, in my opinion, it's quite comparable. We have our bear market. We had the crash in November, exactly in November. That was the FTX crash. We are now going back up again. And that's because we are a year before the halving. I have some kind of a Picasso chart right here. But what I checked out is these blue lines are the Bitcoin halving. And the red lines are a year before the halving. And if I just look at what happened before, then I can make some kind of a prediction for myself what might happen right now. Because if I look at the previous cycles, the cycle is basically completely the same as other cycles. And so far, always a year before the halving, we do have that pre-pump, but the real bull market really starts like usually 2 months after the halving. Here as well, we have a year before the halving, we go up, we go sideways, we go down. Yeah, at the end of the day, we end at the same point as where we started. And it might be very possible that we are now at that same place a year before the halving. We can go up towards 45K. We can come down back to 20K. I think in a year from now we will be sitting at around the same point. And then after a month or two, right here, which is depends on when the halving is exactly, but halfway 24, I think we are really in for a parabolic run. But I can't call this a bull run yet, because that's the same as calling this a bull run. While, yeah, I don't consider this really a bull run yet, and I don't really consider this a bull run yet. So,
but
it might depend on what.
Do you then consider that the bear market's lows are in, or do you think that lows can still be surpassed?
Nah, I do think that the lows are in. I honestly, some people saying that we can see new lows, mainly because of a recession. Although I don't know if a recession is coming, and it's maybe, it maybe happen. But then when I look at where we are right now, we had the Luna crash, we had the FTX crash, we had Celsius, Voyager, we have war, COVID, We have recession maybe coming up. We have high inflation rates. We have so much bad stuff, more than I just called. And this is still Bitcoin's best bear market price-wise so far, and by far. So I don't think that it's that easy for Bitcoin to see a new low. Then a lot of bad stuff has to happen at the same time. And I know, I mean, crypto could surprise us. So maybe we will go lower, but I will bet my money on that it's not. But I do think that we can at least come down a lot lower than where we are right now. That's for sure. But new lows, I don't think so now. I don't know if there are people watching this video that's also watching videos of Benjamin Cohen. He has some really interesting content, and I use this platform quite a lot to let me take a look. Can you see my screen at the moment?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. So what you can see right here is quite interesting. That is green line, right? This is where we are right now. This is 2023. And if you look at the cycle peak, which was here, and if you take it to the bottom, you see that indeed time-wise, we are way past that. I mean, exactly like you say, people are focusing way too much on the price, because if you want to focus on the price, you would say like, okay, we are way higher than where we went in 2018 and 2015, right? But if you look at time-wise, it would be really, really exceptional if we would still see a bottom for crypto. I mean, the last bear market, we found the bottom after 404 days, right? Or in 2015. The one before that, 360 days. But we are now in, so far, 536 days. And we are far from the bottom. So by the time that if we get there, we are way further into this. So, you know, every day I wake up, the possibility to, you know, to find a new bottom is getting lower for me, basically. So yeah, indeed, just focus on timing and not so much on the price. And if you focus on timing, you know, you can see where we are right now.
Oh, this is a nice chart, eh?
Yeah, I mean, if you compare this to other cycles, look, I mean, we are doing way better than in 2015 when it comes to price. But I also believe, like, yeah, we have diminishing returns, but I also believe that we have diminishing losses. People believe in crypto way more. They see banks fail. More people know about crypto. There are actually better projects right now. It's getting more and more mainstream. And people learn to not give up on crypto. The people that stuck around in the last cycle are the ones that are still here. And the ones that just came in are the ones that maybe get shaken out of it. But as more people jump in, the more conviction they have. So I don't think we will go that low, but I do think we will follow a similar path in the bigger picture indeed. Yeah, in the meantime, if we go up, if we go down a little bit, I don't know, but over the longer picture, I do think that this trend is still intact, and we are in some kind of a preparation phase where it's good to plant your seeds indeed, and you have to think about buying and not selling. So yeah, therefore I say, like, in my opinion, we are not in a bull market, but that's purely because my definition of a bull market is parabolic movements. That's how I look at a bull market. But if you ask me, like, yeah, are we out of the bear market? Yeah, for sure. But I think there's more than a bull and a bear market. I also think you have some kind of a sideways market where it, you know, we first go up, we then go down. Overall, it's a little bit of sideways. Yeah, I think that's where we are right now. And that's the best buying opportunity you have in crypto so far. So I think it's quite interesting to look at something like that.
Do you have any target? Do you have any price targets for the end of this bull market? What do you think Bitcoin could go?
Yeah, but people are going to send me to a mental hospital if I'm going to talk about that.
Just share it, man. Just share it.
I do have a target. Yeah, I do have a target. But then again, I want to express, like, it's not that if you set your target, you should not sell anything before you reach that target, because what if you're wrong, right? I can be wrong.
Exactly, yeah.
And I want to bet against myself as well, because I don't know everything. But yeah, I do have a target, and it sounds maybe a little unrealistic, but yeah, every Bitcoin price prediction so far sounded unrealistic until it happened. And let me see, where is this chart? All right, yeah. So far, we have been in this parallel channel for the last 6 years, right? We started in 2017, and every trend is valid until it's not, basically. And this trend is still very valid. Not just a little bit. I mean, we went to the exact bottom of it in November when we had our bottom of 15K. So that suggested to me as well, like, okay, bottom is in. High, likely, right? You could have a wick below it and a wick above it, but this is the trend so far, basically. And it's doing this since 6 years. So my general take is like, okay, if it can maintain it for the coming 2.5 years, what it did for the last 6 years, in this bull market, we went slightly above it. But in this bear market, we went to the lower side of it. In this bull market, we went to the top of it. In this bear market, we went to the low of it. Why should I bet against that trend in that case? And the top side of the range of 2025 December is around 400K. And again, that I feel like I'm sounding unrealistic when I say that. But yeah, on the other hand, when Bitcoin here was $2 and you would have ever said to someone like it's going to $1,200, that sounded way more unrealistic, and it also happened. Here, when Bitcoin was $160 at the bottom of this cycle and it went to 20K, that also sounded very unrealistic because that was a move of 110x, give or take, right? So if you ever would have said like, okay, we're going to do 110x, people would have been like, yeah, you're crazy. And that happened multiple times. What I'm saying right now for my target is basically just a 28x from the bottom. So yeah, that's one of the things that I'm looking at. Also, if you just look at what Bitcoin did from the bottom of cycle 1 to the top of cycle 2, and you look at the average moves, then this is quite bearish compared to the average. So that's something that I'm looking at. And if you look at this logarithmic regression band as well, this is basically how Bitcoin has been moving from the beginning. So the chart that I just showed you has been accurate for 6 years. This has been accurate since the existence of Bitcoin. Almost every boom, or at least every bull market we get to, or at least towards the top of it, and every bear market we get to the lows of it, right? We have this bull market here to the top, bull market here to the top, bull market here to the top, bull market here to the top. If we go the next bull market to the top, that band is in December also sitting between 3 and 450K. So there are a couple of different charts that give me the same outcome. I would not like to get all my information out of one single thing, but there are a couple of things that line up that this could be a possibility. Yeah. So that's my general outlook on it.
It's a beautiful chart that you show up. Also, that parallel channel that you showed up. It's a really beautiful channel. And if you would be aware of this channel as well early on, you could like actually take profits in 2019 at $14,000. And if you would really see that as significant resistance, maybe we are topping that in this pre-rally also around the middle of that channel. That might be interesting to see, right?
Yeah, you mean like here somewhere? You mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and depending on where that happens, I mean, that price can be anywhere, but yeah, there's definitely a chance that we do something like this down and then up. Yeah, and that could send Bitcoin, you know, higher than 50, 60K maybe. That possibility is still there. And so yeah, I will be a little careful on that. I know most people, if I ever drop a video, it's nice, but if I drop a video about altcoins, it gets most views all the time.
Really?
So yeah, so it shows that people just love to hear about altcoins. But it's just, in my opinion, not time yet. It's not the time yet. We will get a massive opportunity for that, in my opinion. But I think a lot of people will get completely wrecked. Sorry.
So you think as well that Bitcoin dominance right now will break out to the upside?
I don't necessarily think that though, but it could. But you know, the Bitcoin dominance could also come down while and because Bitcoin will just have a correction. I mean, Bitcoin just shot up from 15K to 31K. We haven't really seen a good correction from that. And although the market is looking better, nobody, you know, it could still cool off and the Bitcoin dominance could come down with it. So, you know, altcoins will do, you know, fine against Bitcoin in that case, but against the dollar pair, it's still not any spectacular. And I think that against the dollar pair, they are sitting at a major macro resistance at the moment. So I'm very careful with it.
Are there any altcoins that you're really looking at? Like one that you're really convinced of next to AGI, the lithium?
Yeah, like I said, Seedify, for example, because that's a launchpad, and you know, launchpads they have more going on than just being a single coin. I mean, they do releases, which especially in the bull market do very well. Yeah, and we saw in the last bull market, Seedify went absolutely crazy, and the price is now sitting dirt cheap. So that's my biggest bag. But I'm mostly interested in launchpads. When it comes to gaming, I'm looking at studios like Gala, Vulcan Forge, that kind of stuff. I'm not much of a fan of these altcoins like Cardano or XRP or that kind of stuff necessarily. It's like, yeah,
But
no.
Fetch had like some
Fetch
AI
AI?
coins, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't like it purely because of the fact that everybody else already likes it, right? Like I can, if I don't know, I feel like that already has some hype, and then the risk reward ratio is not really that great for me anymore at this specific moment, at least. So I like the project and I'm keeping my eyes on it, but I'm not buying it now.
Yeah.
And you?
Yeah, we did do some trades over on the channel. We doubled actually with Fetch. We had some other tokens we bought like Ori Chain, Level Finance. They all outperformed Bitcoin in the period that we bought them, so we were actually quite lucky with that. Not claiming to to know everything, of course, but yeah, that was super nice. But I dropped all these bags again, and I don't intend to hold them that long. When I trade altcoins, I mainly do it for couple of weeks, 1 or 2 months, and then I just flip it back to Bitcoin.
You do not have any long conviction plays at the moment?
No, also I don't even have Ethereum, man. I'm only in Bitcoin.
I think that's smart way of doing though. Yeah. I do have one trade though going on that I think might be an interesting play. Can I show you one more thing before we wrap it up? I'm taking a part of my money where I'm just trading the Bitcoin dominance. I'm not even looking at altcoins, and not with all of my money, but just a part of my money, because
Can you share your screen?
Ja, ik was hem niet aan het delen. Dat is ook handig, ja.
Ja, doe dat wel voor me, ja.
So I'm using a part of my money. Well, I'm just purely trading off the Bitcoin dominance. I'm not even really looking at specific altcoins for this, because if you look at this, at a certain point, this will break out, and it could be now, definitely. But if that happens, worst case scenario, I'm left with a bag of altcoins, and in the long run, it will be fine, I think. But this thing has been in a range for 2 years, since May 2021. And if I just look at the range, it's been going up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So what's likely to happen? I think this could probably come down. And I honestly don't really care what happens to the Bitcoin price or to the altcoin price at that moment, because, you know, the same goes for you. Bitcoin is a good long conviction play, right? So if you can stack more of that, then why not? So what I'm basically doing is I sold a little part of my Bitcoin right here for altcoins, betting on the fact that this trend will go down again. And, you know, so far that's pretty likely until it actually breaks out. But if that happens, I'm gonna just make a lot more Bitcoin with my altcoins. So I sell these altcoins for Bitcoin right here again. And then I'm gonna just take that trade over and over and over again. So I am basically never in cash. So I don't have any fear of missing out. right? If Bitcoin runs, then or I am in Bitcoin, so I'll run with it, or I am in altcoins. And if Bitcoin really runs, there's a good chance that altcoins run with it as well. So no matter what, I'm probably making money. But the main point of this is just, yeah, started a challenge on my channel with 0.1 Bitcoin, and I'm turning it into 1. And I think this is very doable to trade it like this. Because if I take a look at altcoins compared to the dollar, where they are right now in this downwards trend still, yeah, it's looking terrible. I mean, Bitcoin broke this already back in January, right? I mean, Bitcoin was in the same downwards trend, and in January we broke it. We had a retest and we shot up. Yeah, if you look at altcoins, we are in the same trend. We tried to got out of it 2 weeks ago, but it was a fake out and we got back in it. So yeah, as long as this trend is intact, I would say altcoins compared to the dollar pair are for now just likely to put in a new low. So I'm not messing around too much with that.
Yeah, it looks good. This is a good chart. I haven't seen this one yet, but this really shows that Bitcoin is leading the scene right here, and he's pulling the rest of the market sooner or later. It's always Bitcoin first, and altcoins, they will come later.
Yeah, they will come. They will come. But for now, they're really lagging, and that's a beautiful chart to look at. I mean, Bitcoin before the November crash was sitting at 20K. We took that out by like 40% by now. But if you look at altcoins in a November crash, we're sitting lower now than that. So they're clearly lagging. So I'm being careful. So yeah, that's what I want to wrap it up with. Be careful. It's still crypto.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Yeah, exactly. You gotta know what you just gotta know when to position yourself on which place. When to be in altcoins, when to be in Bitcoin, when to be in stables. That's the most important thing. These 3 things, right?
Yeah, timing is key. It doesn't matter, even in a bull run, it doesn't matter what altcoin you are in. They all topped out at the same time, November 2021, or at least around that area. So everybody's cherry picking the best altcoins. You should stop focusing on that. Pick when the best timing is, because then it doesn't really even matter what you are in. You will go up or down anyway.
Exactly. Okay, Menno, hey, thank you so much for coming on our channel. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. I will really recommend every single one of you who's watching this to go to Menno's channel. That is the FOMO Factory. I'll put a link to Menno's channel down below in the description. So go check that out. He will definitely help you during this bull market to cherry pick the right altcoins, and also when to pick these altcoins, right?
Especially when, yeah.
Especially when.
Definitely. Thank you, man. It was very nice talking to you. I think we could have more conversations in the future. You have a nice, fresh perspective on things. Thanks, I need
that. Okay, great, man. Thank you for joining, and we meet each other soon again.
We will do that. Take care, man.
Ciao, ciao.